The Boston Celtics are the best team in the East right now, and it's not particularly close. It's not just because they're 4-0, but rather more to do with how they're dominating. Jayson Tatum looks like a completely different player and a top MVP candidate. The team just won by an average margin of 35 points over the last 2 games. They have the best offense rating in the league, and they have a top 5 defense. Thus far, it's looking like the Kristaps, Porzingis and Jrue Holiday trades are panning out for this team. But before we get further into that, be sure to leave a like on the video, as each like makes a tremendous difference for the channel, and be sure to sub to the channel for even more content like this. The first thing we need to talk about regarding the Celtics has to be the new, reinvented Jayson Tatum that we've seen this season. Tatum has been a top 10 player in the league for years now, and there's no doubt we pictured him playing at All-NBA level this season. But through 4 games, Tatum not only looks like an All-NBA player, but his otherworldly play is making him a lead candidate for MVP. He's averaging 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists on the season, but more importantly, he's shooting 56% from the field and 41% from 3 on 8 attempts per game. These stats are impressive, but it's not a coincidence that Tatum has been the most efficient that he's ever been. Pay attention to the screen now, because here is Jayson Tatum's shot chart from last year, and this is his shot chart from this year. Yeah, the Celtics really did wonders for this man. I have no clue as to why corner threes were non-existent for JT in 2023, as that's literally the most efficient 3-point look you can get, but him getting to those spots and knocking them down has done wonders for him. Another thing to take note of is the complete diversity in his shot selection now and before. The mid-range jumper, which he's shooting at 50% this year, was completely fizzled out of his game in 2023. But at the end of the day, personnel and coaching have impacted his shot selection from then to now, with him having more space to operate among other things, and now consequently having a more in-between game. A lot has been made about Tatum's apparent inability to lead a team to an NBA title, as the Celtics have made the conference finals 4 times in 6 seasons, only won 1 of them, and lost in the NBA finals where he was far from his best. But keep in mind that he's still only 25 years of age, and other all-time greats like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, and Steph Curry were even older when they won their first NBA titles. And if the Celtics and Tatum continue this outstanding play by season's end, he might just wind up with his first MVP and be poised to make a deep playoff run. As a whole, the Boston Celtics starting 5 has been tremendous, and given the personnel at hand, this shouldn't have come to anyone's surprise. Tatum and Brown were All-NBA performers last year. They and Jrue all made the All-Star team last year as well. Jrue and Derek White made it all defensive teams, and Porzingis quietly averaged 23 points and 9 rebounds last season, and was one of the best rim protectors in basketball. Through 4 games, the Celtics have the best offense rating in the league at 124.8, while scoring the most points per game in the league. They're shooting 51% as a team and shooting 40% from 3 on 42 attempts a game, and they've been the second best free throw shooting team percentage-wise. On defense, the Celtics aren't slouches either, being 4th in defensive rating, averaging the most defensive rebounds per game at 40, they're 6th in blocks, allow the 4th fewest points in the paint, and teams are shooting a putrid 42.5% against them. Additionally, the Celtics have an unreal net rating of 20.1, beating the Wizards and Pacers so badly that they load managed the 2016 Warriors away. Not by sitting out players, but by blowing away the opposition so badly that they can rest their starters during the 4th quarter. It's safe to say that the Porzingis and Holiday trades are panning out thus far, and they're doing exactly what the Celtics need them to do. The discourse surrounding the Porzingis trade was all over the place because even though there was inherent value in trading for him, the Celtics had to give up Marcus Smart in that deal, a mainstay that ideally should have spent his whole career in Boston. But in green, Porzingis is averaging 19 points per game and 7 rebounds on 56% from the field and 45% from 3. Mind you, he's only taking 11 shots a game, half of those are 3-pointers, and 90% of those 3-point attempts are catch and shoot. Again, not hijacking the offense, but fitting seamlessly with what the Celtics want to do on both ends of the floor. Jrue is also taking the second fewest amount of shot attempts since his rookie season at just 10, but he's a high IQ player, proving his value in the half court, transition, and is shooting 38% from 3 on the season. Lastly, in the starting 5 are both Derek White and Jaylen Brown, the third and second best players for the Celtics last year. Once the Celtics traded for Derek White at the 2022 NBA trade deadline, their fortunes completely changed. He's not the flashiest player, but he consistently plays his role as a switchable defender that's a good screen navigator. He's quick and decisive when it comes to swinging the ball. He's a nice drive and kick guard, and is overall a good playmaker. This season, he's averaging 16, 4, and 4 on an insane 65% from the field and 58% from 3. Those percentages will come back to earth over the course of a full season, but there's no reason to believe he can't be efficient like he was last season. Jaylen Brown has been seen in a very interesting light over the past few months. Of course, he did underperform in the East Finals and was infamously singled out for his inability to operate with his left. And then, after weeks and weeks of waiting, he signed the largest contract in league history when many people felt he wasn't worth $300 million. But at the end of the day, the Celtics are in fact better with him than any pieces they could have gotten via trade, and he's proving his value this season. He's averaging 23 points and 6 rebounds on 49% from the field and 44% from 3 on 6 attempts a game. To this point, I have to say that I'm greatly impressed by the Boston Celtics. They not only look like the best team in the East, but I could legitimately say that they can compete with the best of the West. They have an elite offense, they have an elite defense, they had the best combination of talent they've had from a fit perspective in the JT-JB era, and this should be their year to collect Banner 18. With that being said, be sure to comment down below your thoughts on the Boston Celtics and what has impressed you about this team. What do you feel about the Jrue Porzingis pickups and how positively they're affecting this team? And do you truly believe this is the year where the Boston Celtics finally get over the hump? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on the video, as each like makes a tremendous difference for the channel, and be sure to sub to the channel for even more content like this. Be sure to check out my last video on the James Harden trade, and see you all in the next one.